All right, welcome back. I'm Kevin,
I'm Don.
and we're here doing another set of reviews. I like to read good books, but sometimes they're hard to find. And my dad here reads a lot of books, and so I found it's easier to just sift through all the books he reads and finds his tens and nines and choose one of those every once in a while. So the goal of this channel is to give you an opportunity to find a good book to read. Hopefully, you'll get something out of what we have to share, and you'll find a book that you want to read.
We have some good ones this month.
How many do we have this month?
Uh, if we're doing just nines and tens, I think there's five.
Okay.
Okay, now we're going to rate Scourge by Marcus Richardson and Mike Cross. This is a post-apocalyptic thriller series. There are 6 books in the series, and I don't know if the series ends because I haven't read them all yet. There are 400 pages per book. Jordan Wells is a USDA field agent trying to find a cure for a virus that's sweeping across the southern states and has already destroyed an eighth of the grain crops in the United States. And she goes to college in Iowa, an agricultural college, to see about something that some professor thinks he's got a solution for the virus that's rampaging across the country. While she's there, a gas line explodes and completely destroys the college, releases the bacteriophage that this professor was studying. It's not as good as he thinks it is, and it automatically goes and kills all the vegetation, not just the grain crops. So now everything's in trouble, and it's much faster than the virus was. And so now the country's in a disaster that's worse than what it was in before. And she is injured in the explosion, but gets out of the hospital and decides she has to stay in the field to be able to collect whatever samples are needed to try and figure out how to get on top of this bacteriophage that's been released. Abby Warren is a contestant in a popular TV show named Abandoned. To win, she needs to survive alone in the rainforest in a remote stretch of Vancouver Island, Canada, longer than any of the other contestants, without shelter, tools, or food, except for what she can build, catch, or find with the scant 10 items that she was allowed to bring along on the trip. When radio calls for medical emergency go unanswered, she has to decide what she's going to do, because getting with other contestants is forbidden, and she's run across another contestant that the tree has fallen on his leg and broken it badly, and he's in bad shape. No one's answering the radio calls. Jonah and Etta Reed own the R&R Ranch in Wyoming. And they're living with them is their son-in-law, Pike Warren, and his twins, Dakota and Drake, and their mother, Abby, who is currently in Vancouver on the talk show, on the survival show, Abandoned, is his wife. The R&R Ranch raises bison. When things go bad very quickly in Valley County and Cold Spring City, they have to be able to get their kids and their ranch hands, everyone out of the city where everything's going belly up, and they have to...
Now, belly up because the bacterial phage is taking over everything, or?
Suddenly the news is blowing up this bacteriophage and what it's doing, and there's not going to be any more food, and whatever's in the grocery stores is the last they're going to get, and people go crazy.
So bad meaning people are coming after them for their food.
Well, that will happen, but right now they're just trying to flood the grocery stores, trying to, fights over,
Okay.
do I get this package or do you? And then the credit card readers go down because of all the volume all over the United States, and they can't sell unless you've got cash. And and suddenly things are violent. They have to try and get their kids out of school, get them back to the ranch where they can be protected. Jeff Miles is a thief, and he's just relocated his entire team of miscreants to Cold Valley to set up a thieving operation there. He takes advantage of people's fears and urges them on to greater fear and mob violence. He's in the background doing the shouting that gets them worried and gets them doing things they wouldn't normally do to create more opportunities for him to steal stuff. He has no moral compass whatsoever. Through the eyes of these people, we get to watch society crumble. And when fear drives people to try and get what they think they need to survive at any cost, it gets a little scary. It seems to go overboard faster than I think people would actually go overboard. But you can see these things happening in that kind of a crisis. And it is a little bit scary. It's a good, solid book. I gave it an 8. Because it went too fast, I downrated it a little bit. And because of some of the decisions of some of the people that I literally wouldn't have made in those circumstances, I rated it down a little bit. There's limited use of hard profanity. Sexuality is T for teen, rougher than G, but not as bad as PG. Violence, there's hard violence. Violent instances of high intensity. I rated it for a teen audience.
Now, you've read other post-apocalyptic books. I guess my question is, how does this rate amongst that? Is it normal? Have you rated any of them really high, like higher than an 8?
No, because in most of them, the incidents that the author writes about are such stupid decisions on the part of the people we're learning about that it's hard to put myself in that position. Would I have made that decision under those circumstances? And I just can't see myself making that kind of decision. This one is much better than most of them that I've read, in that the decisions that most of the people make are okay under the circumstances that they believe are happening at the current time. But even then, some of their decisions are, let's go to the grocery store again, even though there was violence last time I was there. Things like that. And they're not letting my kids out of school because they want to do it in an organized manner. Let me fight my way to the middle of the scrum and break open the school to get my kids. Some things like that I don't think I would ever do. Those are the only things that make me rate it down.
Okay.
Because other than that, it's a really good story.
But for our readers, one of the reasons we were going to pass on this book because it was an 8, but when I realized it was not in our regular genre, I wanted to review it anyways. So comparing it to other, post-apocalyptic type books, you would rate this one higher than most of them.
Higher than most of them. I've read a couple in the past that I liked, that were good, but most of those where you find society going downhill, it goes down way too fast and way too hard, and it just doesn't seem real to me.
Okay, so if you're looking
this seems more real.
If you're looking for a different genre,
if you want a book that'll scare you about society, this will do it.
Okay. I mean, we are in an election year. Who knows?
Who knows?
So, okay. Well, thank you. I was looking through our database of books that he's read and realized that he has about 180 10s that he's read. So rather than just give you the 8s, we figured we'd cherry pick off the top for a while.
Okay.
All right, that wraps up this set of reviews. We've decided to start filming every time he has 4. So we'll put them out as we get them. If we have more, we'll release them more than once a week. If not, I guess it'll
read
be
some good books lately. Enjoy reading them.
Okay.
Have a good time.